Well, hello. Hi, everybody. I'm glad to see everybody. I've been so busy with work that I had to take a couple days to catch up. But I thought I would come on live since there's a lot going on. People are freaking out. Are you okay, Whimsy? I am awesome, but I have a job. I have a job and patients and a dirty apartment. So yeah, I need to take a couple days. I'm still in the middle of, I'm completely rearranging my apartment, and it's going to take the rest of the day. Anyway, good to see everybody here. I also want to say thank you to people who sent me cards and gifts, etc. I lost a couple of the envelopes. So a couple people that I accidentally threw out your envelopes, starting with Joan. See, Joan sent me a beautiful Taimani, a Yemenite painting, which is beautiful, by the way, and I love it. And I threw the thing out thinking that there would be an address. Anyway, so Joan, I got the letter. I love the painting. It's beautiful. I wanted to send you a thank you, but unfortunately, I can't find your address. So Joan, if you could send me your address to whimsyanderson@gmail.com, I would like to send you the appropriate thank you. Also, I think that's it. Yeah, just I got out the rest of the thank you letters to everybody who has been reaching out, sending cards, etc. So thank you for that. So I'm going to start off by saying hi to everybody and giving gratitude to everybody who decided to spend this hour with me, because I know that people's time is precious, and so I appreciate the fact that you've decided that my time is worth it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give gratitude. I want to give a gratitude to Bella Luna. Hello, she was the first here. Starfish 409, hello. Annie's Screesinje. Lovely to pronounce. Hi, Annie. Hi, Paula McNally. Good to see you. Super Queen B 45 in the house. Always great to see her. Debbie Ives. Hello. Patricia Jones. We wouldn't be able to get started without Patricia. She's been here from the beginning. Terena. Hello. Terena Vera. Mercedes Caldron. Good to see you as well. Kayla Johnson. All right. I'm going to continue to say hi to everybody, but we got a lot to go through, and I'm going to try and go as fast as possible so we can get through everything within an hour. First things first is tonight, my time, I think it's my time, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., Mountain Time. I'll be doing a show live with Celtic Tarot with Sheila and Nine's Corner. And I'm really excited about it. I love being on that show. It's being developed by Sheila, like I said, of Celtic Tarot, so be able to check out her channel. What we're doing is kind of like The View. We're kind of developing a show. Well, Sheila is. I'm just a guest on the show. It's like The View. We do hot topics, we do celebrity gossip, etc. We have other psychics that get invited on the show, and it's basically like The View, but with psychics. And anyway, so Sheila's developing it. I'm having a lot of fun there. I predict, if Sheila keeps this up, that probably in a couple of years, it'll probably get a cable. She'll probably get picked up by cable because it is such a popular idea. So that show will be a daytime show, but the last of the evening shows of Sheila and Friends will be tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 6 Mountain. So there's that announcement. Second announcement I want to make is that I'm trying to have it be a regular thing on Mondays with Lynn Tarot readings. I really like her, and I like the fact that she and I break down things in similar ways. We both do patterns, we both journal, and then we we throw cards. So I really like the energy with her. So I want her to come back on Monday. So Monday I'm going to be, we record too so that we don't get interruptions, so that we can just go straight through the remote viewings, etc. So Monday, again, I'll be taping with Lynn, and I don't know what her schedule's like, but I would love if we could do it on a regular basis. All right, so those were my announcements. If you haven't had a chance yet to like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification, I would really appreciate that. All right. How's everybody holding out? We've got 5 days. I was not coughing all day. Then I went live and started coughing. I apologize. Allergies. Yes, I really like Lynn a lot. What I like is that she does it. She does it a lot like me, where she will write the notes down. She'll do her homework. She'll try and reason it out. She'll do the meditations. I find it very easy to work with her, so I like her a lot. All right. So I want to hit the remote views first, because a lot of people are kind of confused about some stuff. And, well, thank you, Jeffrey. So let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about has to do with Trump's opportunity to resign. I want to talk a little bit about the remote viewings over the last couple years, and about a couple things to help people understand what I'm talking about. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about has to do with this idea of a collective mind, a hive mind, or the fact that we're, excuse me, all interconnected. My nose is running. I don't know why, sorry. Anyway, so this brings me back to C.G. Jung, Carl Jung. Carl Jung talked about the collective. He talked about the fact that we are all interconnected. And it's something to really remind people, if you're doing this kind of work, that when people say, well, I don't have empathy for Donald Trump because he puts children in cages, I get that. But when you are a heart-centered remote viewer, what you start to realize is that the rabbit hole that helps you connect with another person isn't out there. It's by going deeper and deeper into the self, and the self becomes the rabbit hole that brings you to the collective that unifies everybody. So unfortunately, to some respect, Trump is part of the hive. Whether we call it a cancer in the hive, or that the hive is sick, but the bottom line is this: whether we want to acknowledge it or not, if you're practicing HCRV, he is us and we are him. He is an aspect of us. And so to hate him or reject him is to hate and reject an aspect of us. It would be better, I think, practicing HCRV if we would instead simply look at this aspect of the self. We learn from it. Obviously, he shouldn't be the president, remove him from the general population so that he doesn't hurt anybody. But this recognition that it's really just one hive, one mind, that's really in keeping with Carl Jung. Carl Jung influenced me a lot. He talked a lot about the fact that in these deep meditations, we realize the interconnectedness. We're on the World Wide Web, psychic World Wide Web, that there are no others, there's merely the self. People have independent components, but we're all interconnected. Carl Jung also talked about the idea of archetypes and trying to see the archetypes in the people that we have relationships with. Lindsey Graham has the archetype of being a lady in waiting, who is there to assist the king or queen in their endeavors, and with such loyalty that the lady in waiting, or the slave or servant, accompanied the king to their death as they walked to their death. And that was considered an honorable position to some extent. If you were sent to the Tower of London to help Catherine Howard in her final days prior to her execution, it was an honor and a privilege to be given that role. And so when we went into the energy of Lindsey Graham, that is precisely where I found myself. He is the honorable lady in waiting who has been asked to attend to the needs of this royal prior to the execution. And so it doesn't surprise me when you see film footage coming out of the border that walking 3 to 6 steps behind him is his lady in waiting, Lindsey Graham, assisting him as he says thank you to everyone as his life as the king ends. And I think, whether you like Lindsey Graham or not, he is fulfilling that role swimmingly, right? So when we follow the energy, it's always his role to tell Trump when it's over and to say, I will stay with you till the end, because it will be an honor and a privilege to be the one chosen to be here with you until the end. And that is Lindsey Graham. Now, we've got 5 days before the president is no longer the president. So I want to talk a little bit about what's happened so far energetically. The Senate. The Senate is being headed by Mitch McConnell for the next 5 days. After that, it will no longer be in the power of Mitch McConnell. And I seriously doubt there is going to be a Mitch McConnell in the Senate in 4 years. He's got a lot of health problems. So basically, for all intensive purposes, we're going to have to deal with the problem of Mitch McConnell in the position of leadership in the Senate for 5 more days, which means that his power is gone in 5 days. So if this guy is going to help President Trump, he doesn't have a lot of time to do it. If Lindsey Graham is going to help this president, he doesn't have a lot of time to do it because the evidence is growing. Remember when we went into the energy, and Lynn Thoreau said the same thing. She did a similar remote. This was a coup. This was a planned coup in order to overthrow the American government that was aided and abetted by the President of the United States. Not only that, but he met with them and choreographed it, and that's going to be proven. So if you're Trump, what do? Do you still have an opportunity to resign and get a pardon from Pence? The thing that's a problem here is that they went after Pence. They were going to try him and hang him. So that's not exactly how you get somebody to pardon you. But here's what has happened. Thank you, Impish Artist. It's very kind. So here's what's happened. Pence was asked to do Amendment 25 or the article to amend the Constitution. And if so there's 2 ways we can bring this to Pence's desk. One way that we can do it is through the cabinet. Or we can bypass the cabinet with, I think it's required 8 people who are in a position. I think it was something like 8 people in a position of power, a position of authority in Congress, psychiatrists, doctors, etc., serving in Congress that could testify that this person is unfit. So that has already happened. That has already passed the House. So the only thing I think we need to do at this point to issue Article 25 is for Pence to put down the hatchet. Why am I telling people all of this? To help people understand that Trump has basically been neutralized as a target. He's been neutralized in the sense that he's now, for all intensive purposes, being controlled by Pence. He could screw up, but it would probably result in Pence and these angry people in Congress dragging him into a psych ward. So it would behoove Trump at this point, because they have gone so far in Article 25 to not make any trouble. Pence at this point will not issue Article 25, but it's not off the table. In plainer words, you're on very thin ice. We've sent you a lady in waiting who's watching every move and will stay with you for the next 5 days until the time of your quote unquote execution. We've got Pence dangling 25 over your head. Better watch it, boy. Be a nice boy. So for all intensive purposes, he's basically in the tower. Trump is basically in the tower at this point. His power has been greatly diminished. In terms of what I think is going to happen with the energy going into what's currently happening with the investigation, I think that it will show that it was actually a plot. It was an insurrection to overthrow the government. And I think that several members of Congress that were involved will probably have to leave. I would not be surprised if Lindsey Graham had to leave. You know, it's interesting, back in the old days of slaves, if you look at like Cleopatra, it was the same idea. The ladies in waiting, that close group of people that protected Cleopatra when she was under house arrest, awaiting her own execution. Thank you, Quervigence. You did make a live stream. So in that particular case, she was given, in a sense, the honor of resigning, right? She was an expert in poisons and medicine. She was quite educated, actually. So she, along with her lady in waiting, her slave, committed suicide together. And the idea was that she would remain a servant even in death. It was interesting when they broke into Cleopatra's room after she had been to stop her from committing suicide. The last act of her slave was to adjust her, to make her beautiful in death, as the slave was dying themselves. This was the level of devotion originally that was associated with that. You know, it's an interesting archetype to think about, because I wonder how much of a future in the Senate Lindsey Graham or Mitch McConnell currently have. They may follow this individual out just because of the investigations that are going on. All right, so we'll now, so the last thing I would say is, so everything is suspended. If Trump still, because they can hold off a Senate trial and privately negotiate with him to resign, this is how it should have gone down. If they can, if Mitch can hold off, meet secretly with the Senate, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? They're coming after him. They're coming after him. There's going to be a trial. There's going to be a trial. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? You have probably Mitch McConnell meeting with Republicans about votes, and you're threatening the president. Yeah, we could go to trial. I could convict you. So what is this all leading to? He's given the honor of resigning. If he resigns, then Pence can pardon him prior to a trial and get him off on some of the charges. He can't get him off because he's already been impeached in Congress, but he can get him off of potentially criminal charges after he leaves office, which brings us back to where we started 4 years ago, looking at the archetypes. You know, Mr. President, the duty has fallen on me to inform you that we have reached a consensus in the Senate. We give you the honor of resigning. We're there. And that is the power of the meditative state. And that's why we encourage people to learn these techniques, so that we can understand the facets of other people, and it can certainly help with dialogue. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to people. We can go ahead and talk about this if you like, and then we're going to go ahead and start the blitzes. Is anyone depressed? Are any remote viewers or sensitives or empaths here feeling depressed, and they need to talk about it? Thank you, Terry. I am rather proud of myself, and I'm proud of Lynn and all the other remote viewers. They got it right. Depressed because he didn't change, because we were holding out hope until the very end that this guy would repent. And instead, nothing changed. That's why the remote viewers, the empaths that were looking at this energy, have been feeling depressed. I'm not anxious anymore. I'm not anxious since Lindsey Graham had the talk. I was anxious until the point when Lindsey Graham had the talk. After they passed Article 25 in Congress and and Lindsey Graham had the talk, and then also had the talk publicly with the press, with the public, I felt like everything was going to be okay after that. He didn't get worse after the talk. I mean, like, he's not allowed to be alone. I mean, Lindsey Graham is practically sleeping on his couch at this point. Tired. The fact that with mental illness, with personality disorders, they're so predictable and so incurable that causes a lot of professional empaths to become depressed. Look, we were all holding out hope that he was going to have the great revelation and sing Amazing Grace, right? Wouldn't it have been great if he had become the president, sung Amazing Grace, gotten on his knees, and been awakened? Till the very end, we were holding out hope. Didn't happen. The guy did exactly what his archetype and persona would have predicted he would have done. And that's why people are depressed. That's why remote viewers are depressed. So that's why I wanted to talk about the depression. Yeah. And if you are becoming a professional reader, psychic, remote viewer, it helps you put your emotions on I know that you're empaths, to just put it aside and deliver the information. So now I'm going to start crying. And just accept the fact that unfortunately some people can't change. Your job when you do an assignment is to simply deliver the information. But we can't give another person free choice. We just can't. So a lot of readers are sad about it. Because we wanted him to change, right? So that's what I'm saying. Oh, big hugs all around. Big hugs all around. All right, let's do a simple prayer. Let's go in. Pence changed. I believe Pence has changed. This was a hard spiritual lesson for Pence. I can't believe I'm crying over this. I'm always hoping the bully will change, right? I don't want the bully to go to hell. I don't want the bully to go to a psych hospital. I don't want the bully to die alone. I want the bully to get well. So, okay. Let's do a simple prayer. We'll go in. I can't believe I'm doing this. Am I the only one going through this? I love my subjects, even the ones that do something wrong. I develop empathy. I develop a connection with the person that I've been asked to go in. And this has been going on for almost 5 years that I've been doing this. Of course, I want the target to change, to get well. And unfortunately, in this case, he didn't get well. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the future, for the planet, for the people we love, for our families, to even help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Okay. Let's do a general for, let's just, let's just do a general for the country. Hopefully that'll snap me out of this mood. Well, let me turn down the resignation. You know, it's nothing more that could have been done for him, but he'll face a trial. You know, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. For the whole country, for the whole planet, not just for this guy, but for everything that, how much mental grief must you have to create this much pain for everybody else, you know? He still has a chance to resign. They want this over. They want the end. This is a strife card. They want this is also a battle card, by the way. They want the battle is over. The battle is over. The strife is over. This is very compassionate of the Senate to do this. He remains a fool. He remains in faith. He doesn't want to leave. He does not want to leave his position. He fears the wilderness. That would be how I would describe Trump in this card chart. He fears the wilderness. He fears going into exile. He fears being cast out. The inverted Knight of Wands. It's almost like a child who's been kicked out of their home and doesn't have anywhere to go and is afraid for their future and is so mentally incapacitated, like a 3-year-old, that they honestly don't know what to do. And this goes back to this idea that the president doesn't have people around him, other than maybe the Kushners, that can try and maneuver this, because this is really someone, he did not get well. This is what Mary Trump said. He didn't get well. He got sicker and sicker and sicker because there's his mental capacity. It's just so sad. You understand? It's just sad. What is above him? A judgment. He faces a judgment in the 4th house. His cards are so easy to read. What he sits in, he's not well. This is what he marinates in. The health card, he's sick. He's sick. This is why when people say, I don't have any empathy for him, he could have changed, he chose. No, that's what we keep trying to explain to people. He doesn't choose. He's sick. He lacks this is what Mary Trump has tried to explain to people. He does not have the capacity because of his mental illness to have free choice. He's too sick. He couldn't leave it. He couldn't let it go. Inverted Page of Swords. His near future, walking away from a battle he cannot win. He still could resign. Thank you, Linda. That's very kind of you. He has no money. He lost his job. Loss of a job, Inverted Page of Pentacles. The other, his opposition, is in a position of power. This is the 8th house. This is the power of the opposition. They have everything. He has nothing. He's just a little kid whose mommy didn't have him, abandoned 2, 3. This is his mental state. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying if you want to know where he's at emotionally, he's the orphan kid with no mommy being cast into the cold. I just can't stress it enough. He's not well. He is mentally a damaged 3-year-old. The hope and the fear, the FBI, the investigation, hidden information being released. He's got a raid coming. The feds are coming. You can't, look, this is happening and it's happening fast. When I say happening fast, I mean this, there are people chomping at the bits, waiting like hungry wolves for him to leave the White House. Private lawsuits, feds, police raids. The only option to keep this from happening would be a resignation and pardon from Pence, because it's going to happen. This is within 1 week, and he only has 5 days left. He's in a lot of trouble. The clarification for him: may take an offer he rejected, an inverted 4 of cups. The other in relationship with him, they're fighting amongst themselves in Congress and Senate. They don't know what to do with this guy. Look at that. Can you believe how easy his cards are to read? The hope and the fear. The flim flam man gets caught, FBI card. Look at this. Look how easy his cards are. His final outcome over police raid. Look at this. Inverted ace of swords. Defeat in battle. Guy is screwed. Based on these cards right now, I think that he may have waited. Either if he doesn't resign, he's in serious trouble. Boy, he better have everything in writing with Pence, some pre-legal arrangement with people who know what the hell they're doing to get, because he doesn't, look, if this is going to happen, it has to happen within 3 days. And after what he did to Pence, it's like every time I meditate on Pence's future, I hear Pence singing that spiritual song, all my trials, Lord, soon be over. You know that one? All my trials, Lord. I mean, he knows where this is headed. Pence does. Boy, I guess I needed a good cry. Maybe that's why I was coughing. Maybe that's why I had all that stuff in my nose. I think I just needed to let it out. I'm sensitive, I love people, even bad people. I want everybody to be good, it's depressing. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's take a look at Pence. I keep looking for stuff I can't find. Okay, let's look at Pence. What is going on with Pence? It's fun today, even though I'm crying and sad. I'll snap out of it. I want to go to Tahiti. Let's go to Tahiti, everybody. Let's get out of here. You need 2 vaccines. You need proof of your vaccine and a negative swab 3 days prior to boarding the plane. If you do that, they'll let you in. All right. Mike Pence, what are you going to do? Mike Pence, the power is with you. It'd be the most compassionate thing to do. Would be to tell him to leave. I'll get you off. He's in a position of power, double aces, straight up. He pulled double aces as his base. You think that Pence is feeling a little cocky? Well, who's the real president now? I got Article 25, which means that you're at my mercy. I can issue Article 25 in my sleep. I can issue Article 25 while I'm brushing my teeth and ordering a pizza. I can order Article 25 at 4 a.m. while you're sleeping. I can order Article 25 when you least expect it. I got the power. You don't have the power. I got the power. So the precious, for all intents and purposes, is now in the hands of Pence. You displeased me today. I think I'll issue Article 25. Do this for me. Okay, today you live. Tomorrow, maybe not. You see the difference? Ace of Wands, position of power. This is a staff. It's also the lingam. It's a penis. I got the power. You know, it's the cojones. Ace of Cups, I give you the offer. I got the power. My karma is I have the power. Now, Ace of Cups, I give you the offer. Much ego? Can you believe that? I got the power. He does too. I mean, the Congress basically gave Pence everything. Here you go, Pence. Now you can issue Article 25. Ooh. It's that kind of energy. First card for him. They tried to kill him. They tried to assassinate the Vice President of the United States. He was holed up down in the basement in a secure location in a bunker, trying to call for help. Talk about being shocked. Do you think that he expected it to end like this? What crosses him? He gets his wish. Wish has been granted for Pence. Pence is very pissed. You're trying to kill me? What is above him? The relationship with him and Trump is over. He thinks that Trump is insane. He's a madman. It's dawning on him. He's praying a lot, by the way. Pence is praying. He's all my trials, Lord. He's repenting. Did I follow a false idol? The spiritual work that Pence, and by the way, he will do the work. A false idol. It's like he worshipped a false idol. That was the spiritual lesson for Pence. His relationship with the president's over. Hangman coming in, Three of Cups. They're not going to be going to anybody's park. This relationship will not continue after January 20th. In fact, I doubt that they will ever meet again, except maybe at some kind of an event or something. And even that I doubt. They don't hang around the same circles. There's no possibility here that I can see. He is going to deal with Trump, but that's not the problem. The problem is that a large swath of the GOP still believes it's true, and that is putting Mike Pence's life at risk. His hope and his fear, he was stabbed in the back. Look at his 9th house. He was stabbed in the back by the very person who he helped get elected. President Trump would not be the president of the United States if it had not been for Mike Pence, because Mike Pence brought the evangelical vote. And this is what Mike Pence got for his loyalty. He got stabbed in the back. The final outcome for Mike Pence is he's worried he will spend the rest of his life protecting himself from potential future attacks from crazy lunatic right-wing nut jobs who supported this president and are convinced that Pence betrayed them. And so Pence is concerned that for the rest of his life, he will have to live in semi-hiding in order to protect himself from multiple attacks. He fears that this is not over. If he pardons Trump, maybe they'll stop trying to kill him. You see how this weird puzzle is starting to piece together? The benefit of pardoning him from Pence's perspective is that he's hoping to reduce the number of people that are trying to kill him. How's that for a happy remote view? How's that for... Can you believe this? I can't believe this. It's over. No hope, no future with this guy. It's over. Pence is going to get, he's probably going to get a talk show. He's getting all the contracts. Pence is getting the contract. He's getting the new book deal. Pence is going to get rich from this. You can see the Ace of Pentacles moving in, probably talk shows, TV shows, book deals, confessionals, all my trials, what I learned, repenting and finding Jesus again. It's all going to be in the book. He can dramatically reduce his risk of being assassinated if he pardons this president. If the president resigns and he pardons him, in order to bring peace, it's taking the high ground and unifying the country and giving some speech about bringing the nation together. If he did that while he was briefly the president, he could avoid a lot of future problems with Trump's base. That's the other reason. That's the other motive for Trump to resign and be pardoned by Pence. It helps Pence. It's something I never thought of, but the cards show that. So that's something interesting to think about. Can you believe, but that aspect, which I hadn't even known about, like, why would Pence want to do this after everything? And the reason why Pence wants to do this after everything is because they're trying to kill him. Now, will you stop trying to come at me with a noose? I got him off. So that's what that card chart looked like. Bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. No, I always thought that he would take the deal, to be honest with you. I always thought that he would resign. People, well, I don't know what kind of free choice he has. I know Pence has free choice to some extent. Objectively, I think looking at the energy and looking at the facts and the fact that more information is happening very rapidly, that we're finding out the extent to which this was planned, that the president took part in it, he was meeting with the Proud Boys. It's going to be pretty easy to, they're going to have a lot of evidence really quickly, which basically means if he has a chance to resign and be pardoned, he better do it ASAP. If such a deal is still on the table, he needs to go. Because if they start showing evidence that this guy was trying to overthrow the American government, there's no way he's going to get off. So the fastest thing they can do is get him off now before the evidence. Do you see what I'm saying? Is stop the trial. Don't have a trial now. Get out now. Go. And if he doesn't do that, then look, they did everything they could to save him, and he said, no, then their responsibility, if he won't resign, then he can go to prison. They did everything they could to protect him, and they're not in control of the Senate after this. They're not in control of the Senate, and once the FBI and everybody else is, and the White House are controlled by the Democrats, and there's nobody obstructing the investigation and the raids all start happening, it's going to become painfully obvious to everybody within a very short amount of time that what this president did. And his approval rating right now is at 34%, according to Quinnipiac. I think it can drop as low as 27. So if you want to get reelected as all the evidence of this starts to come out, do you really want to bet on a losing horse? Or do you want to help him get out of there before the evidence is presented? The door of being saved is closing really quickly. Oh, one poll did say 29%. I trust Quinnipiac because they have the best reputation. Oh, it did drop to 29. I know they did Quinnipiac up until the 14th, and it was 34%. All right, we'll do Giuliani. Giuliani's bizarre. How are we doing on time? We got time for one more throw. We'll do Giuliani. Sorry to burst into tears there. I'm verklempt, you know. I love people. I love even bad people. I want everyone to be loved. I don't want anyone to feel like they're not being loved. Maybe he won't resign. In which case, he'll just go to prison. Giuliani. What is the future of Rudy Giuliani? He's going to have to physically move location. He's actually shutting down one of his businesses. Something's going on, and he's having to, I think he's going to break down his business. I think Trump may have been one of his main customers, but I'm seeing him actually breaking down the actual offices and business he has in the clouds. He may have some mental impairment. It may not just be working for the mob. There's also a little bit of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know, 7 of Cups inverted in the first house. His crossing card, communications, legacy. So, you know, people who say you reap what you sow. Oh, they want him out? Yeah. He's going to leave. That's going to happen. You can see him lugging, moving. It can often be carrying a heavy load, but it can also moving from one location to another. Also, 2 of Swords open leads me to suspect that there was some kind of a standstill at his office, and then he, maybe because he lost a lot of work, decides to leave. He has to go. What blows my mind about these people is they never seem to have any money. It's like the guy can't even afford his rent in his Manhattan lawsuit or something. Or in his law offices. His contracts, right over 3 of Pentacles, the contract card, also real estate card, loss. What he sits in, end of partnerships, 2 of Wands inverted. What sits in his past placement, look at this, lunatic. I think they're all crazy or something. A lot of these people... Yeah, Hawley, it's all coming. That's why he's running out of time. There's no way when everything comes out, he would be able to get a pardon. They can't. That's why Mitch McConnell is saying, I don't know how I'm going to vote, because it depends on how much of this proves to have been planned. You know, if it all blows up and the Democrats are in control of all 3 houses, do you really think that Mitch McConnell is going to have the power? No, the people are going to want him prosecuted. That's the problem. As far as Rudy Giuliani is concerned, his final outcome is the feds. He's going to have a raid. Bad news. It's due to his involvement. It's due to his relationships. Look at that. He's got lovers, his infidelities inverted, old relationships, questionable relationships, and then here comes the feds. Rudy's in a lot of trouble. And I believe that he's going to leave his law firm. I think that he will get kicked out and he will have to leave. And I think that he's going to face additional legal problems with the press, with the feds. Well, that was fun. So if people have to take off, we did an hour. I know a lot of people only stay for an hour, but I might do 1 or 2 more throws before we close. What was the question? Somebody asked a question that seemed kind of interesting to me. What was it? Can we look at why the insurgents are planning on gathering at the state capitals on Sunday? Yes, we can. That's a good question. Let's look at what's going to happen on Sunday with the insurgents. Also, if he resigns, that would do a lot to reduce rioting on the 20th. But let's see what's going to happen on the 20th. Remember when I said that I went forward to Biden entering the White House, and when he got there, it was empty, and I said, where is everybody? People say that now the president used to be hopping. People say now there's nobody there. It's everybody left, everybody quit. It's like, yeah, that's what I saw a couple of weeks beforehand. Everybody quits, and that's what happened. the Georgia tapes got leaked and everything else and people just everybody started leaving after the Georgia tapes, and then after January 6th, everybody else started leaving. So that would make sense. January 6th, and then 3 weeks later, approximately, Biden takes the oath, and that's why it was empty when Biden goes in. So let's see what the insurgents is going to do on the 20th, and then I'll also check on Biden because I know people are worried about Biden. It's fun. Now I'm feeling happy again. I do get sad though when I think about all my misfits, all the misfits I read on. Okay, what is the insurgents going to do? Well, a lot of them are in jail. A lot of them got arrested. Jail. They did it to themselves. Look at that. 8 of Swords is to tie yourself in a knot that you did it to yourself. And that's a jail card. That's my jail card. So they're not doing too good. The feds are all over it. The feds are going to hunt them down. Where they're at right now, they were foolish. First house, an inverted fool card. It's like what the hell were we doing? The foolishness, the anger. Now you've got a section of the population that trusted Trump that now doesn't know what to think. Some are starting to feel foolish. What crossed the fool card? They're dropping the work. A lot of people won't be there. A lot of people won't protest on the 20th. What is above them? They're hanging up the protest. Fourth house, the energy that's coming in. What they sit and marinate in. The Empress card, creative ideas, abundance. They were very ready. If that's what they're sitting in, I would say that they were highly organized. They had more than enough ammo, more than enough motivation to do a lot of damage. It's not a good thing that neo-Nazis are sitting in abundance. They've been planning, they've got bunkers, they've got ammo. It should not have gotten to this point. The reason I think it got to this point of them being in this position is because the president did not take domestic terrorism seriously enough. Where they're at right now, their wish was granted in relationship to they were happy about what they did at the Capitol. The president who didn't leave, who didn't walk away, the hope and the fear, the ethos, the final outcome, Page of Pentacles. It can be a job offer or a coin. It may be that one of the things they do is similar to what happened after the fall of Nazi Germany when the American industrialist came in and said, we don't want to kill you, we want to give you work. And it diffused a lot of the hostilities. I think that the Biden policy over the 100 days of supplying work in these depressed areas will go a long way. You can see first off, the hangman sits, it's the crown, that they will hang this up. And then they were ready to fight. But you can see here in the future, a transformation takes place for many of the people that were protesting. They get their wish. What did they want? They wanted work. I'm not talking about the ringleaders, those people are going to prison. I'm talking about the people that were depressed, didn't have jobs, and were told that liberals were opening up the door to foreigners and giving foreigners everything carte blanche, and the money from their taxes was going to that, and they were going to be left with nothing. And they believed this to be true. Those people are very happy. Nine of Cups comes into position. The hope and the fear, like I said, the ethos, but the jobs are coming. The clarification for this group, look, abundance. Nine of Pentacles. And there's going to be a cut with them and Trump, too, because you can see a Page of Swords moving in. The Trump is the opposition or the issue. The hope and the fear, new contracts, new ethos, a new beginning. And the final outcome over work, there is a new king. He brings work. This will be diffused. The bad people who engineered it, choreographed it, and took advantage of vulnerable, uneducated people, some of whom with learning disabilities, etc., those people are going to prison. The people that were gullible and didn't know any better, those people will really just wanted jobs and respect and to be heard and to get medical care, etc. Their wish will be granted. Their lives will improve, and the result and the consequences of why is because a new contract, a new president, new jobs. It's the Defense Production Act. Look, a lot of people, I'm not a fan of Jeff Bezos because of what he did to my beloved Seattle, but this is similar to the Swedish model now that we're looking at. The Swedish, the Norwegian model. If your employees are going to be working for you and you want them to be happy working at Amazon, you build some beautiful apartments across the street for no money, and then you've got happy employees. They don't need $1 million because rent is so cheap. You're going to have happy, healthy employees. And then if you add to that health benefits, that's all these people want is respect, dignity. I like the fact that Jeff Bezos is releasing $2 billion for housing for his employees. It shouldn't have come to this point. But this is precisely how you nip it in the bud. That's what I take away the reading. They need jobs and education, and they will get it. Bannon and Flynn, that doesn't surprise me. I want to go in because I have very bad feeling about Flynn's future. Yes, the stimulus will pass. Everybody is going to be fine by March. We're going to see an adjustment. A lot of people died, which is people were wondering why I was crying. I was crying because I sat in the shoes of being a doctor in an ER in Los Angeles and knowing that I was helpless to save all the people who were getting sick. And, you know, California, LA, it's bad. The economic implications are bad too. But again, I just want to remind people, hunker down. Things are going to get better by March. Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be a bump with the dollar, but I don't think that there's going to be I don't think it's going to, when I say a collapse, I mean the stress from COVID, the fact that California is the 5th largest economy in the world and nobody can work. There are going to be ramifications for that. We have to accept that there are going to be ramifications for that. So yes, we could see a slow and consistent decline of the market between now and February. The market dropped, I think, today. It'll continue to drop. And I think that we'll start to see things adjust and balance out by March. I could be wrong. This is just an entertainment channel. But yeah. FeedAmerica.org is the nonprofit that somebody asked about that. Yes. It's a little too late, and it shouldn't have had to gone to this point for us to say, can you give us a clinic? You've got how many thousands of people working at Amazon? Do it like the Norwegians. It's cost effective. You build large, and some of these apartment buildings are beautiful, creative and artsy. Build them. Everybody gets a nice studio or 1-bedroom for half the price. You've got a clinic over here and everybody's covered. They can go and get their x-rays and et cetera, et cetera. Do it. That's how the Norwegians do it. It's so cost effective. Then you also have a village where people can go shopping. You have happy employees. What? And it would be more productive. So the fact that Bezos is just now figuring this out is kind of... But I'll go ahead and look at it. All right. The future of big business, Amazon, employees' rights, etc., in the new economy. We'll do it like that. Because I really feel positive about where the economy is headed. I do, despite everything, because a lot of those businesses needed to go under, like the oil industry. See, Bezos wants to do satellite cities. I think that's great. But what about everybody else? You know, not everybody can afford a $500,000 condo in a satellite city. That's what he's doing. That's where he's putting his research. He says that the new day, it's a new dawn in Amazon. You can see a page of wands comes in. He actually says he's right. He continues to have I'm getting all his files now. I'll tell you what he says. Is his wife's name Mackenzie? Is that her? Is that who he's talking about? He said he and his wife actually, ex-wife, continue to have a really good relationship, and he agrees with a lot of the stuff that she's trying to do. They're not in opposition about this. And so it's a new day at Amazon. He's going to start implementing a lot of the same stuff that his ex-wife, is her name Mackenzie? I'm hearing Mackenzie or something like that. Yeah, abundance, where he's at. He's one of the wealthiest people in the world, but it goes back again to the remote. You're either aligned with the natural order, plant medicine, the natural order, or you're not. Who's the wealthiest person in the world? Who right now is the wealthiest person in the world? You might not like him. It is Mackenzie. Damn, that's what he said. Oh, I got a name. I love when I do that. He said that Mackenzie and he continued that we have a good relationship, contrary to what the press says. Is that she's doing a lot of really great stuff. She and I are still working. We're still making stuff happen. The Tesla dude. Ooh, that deserves a spin. Whee! What did he know before everybody else? What did Elon Musk talk about and say he knew 20, 30 years ago? The natural order. The mother comes first, right? Who did he dedicate his business to? The environment. He got it right. He got it right. He got it. So we don't have to like him. The universe doesn't say you have to like him. Gaia doesn't say you have to like him. Gaia just says there's a natural order. You can either be aligned with the natural order or not. Elon Musk is a jerk, but he's aligned with the natural order. So that's what we see when we go into this energy. Abundance, Gaia, right? This is the symbol of Gaia. Gaia, look, if if Jeff Bezos is saying in the remote, Mackenzie is helping me, I'm working with Mackenzie to try and figure out how to change Amazon, and also she's helping me coordinate charity stuff. So he actually still sees Mackenzie as a kind of soulmate to him. If you look at the energy between Bezos and Mackenzie, like how it feels to me as I go in. But what's interesting is he said that, and then his first card was Gaia. Interesting. And what crossed him? Defender of the land, the water protector. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. His fourth house, a new beginning, new offer. Everybody got the download, right? Everybody got the download, including Jeff Bezos. He's probably looking over at Elon Musk and saying, "You're 20 years ahead of me. I got the download 20 years ago because I smoke a lot of weed and I take ayahuasca." That's the Elon Musk makes those jokes, like that he's totally connected with spirit because somebody said that he did an interview live and he lit a joint live, and they kept the interview going. But he's very into the planet, and but you can see that Ace of Cups coming in for Jeff Bezos with Gaia, protector of the land, what he sits in the world, concern for the world. His cards are easy, very easy to read. Look at this: Gaia, the world, defender of the land. The water protectors card. And he's saying in the remote, my wife, Mackenzie, his ex-wife, she must be a righteous woman. She's the one that he convinced him to do that. He already knew a lot about the environment, but He had a lover in the past. He took a lover, so it had to do with the end of his marriage. And then tied in knots. There's a part of him that regrets leaving his wife. Action, reaction, his fifth house, he took a lover. His response to it, I tied myself in a knot. He wants his wife back. To be honest with you, with these type of cards, I think he wants his wife back because his wife is a saint. She took all her money, she gave it all away, and now she's just a philanthropist. And he's like, I want her back. Yeah, show me how. Too late. Too late, Jeff. That's what it looks like. You took a lover in the past. It resulted in you're now in a pickle. You're sending love to your ex-wife, Mackenzie, because you're doing work in the environment. So it's kind of interesting to see that. You only know what you've lost when it's gone. He will not return to his wife. The inverted Six of Cups. She was a soulmate. She was there from the very beginning. She was there when they were in a basement packing books. When he didn't think this was going to work. Why does he not return to his ex? The wife in opposition to him. This is the wife's card. She has the power. His wife has the power. You know, this is the power of the gentle feminine. She didn't rip him to shreds. She didn't do it. She simply went about her business. And now she's this beautiful Queen of Hearts that he's never going to get. He can't get her. He blew it. God, talk about a hard lesson. Hope and fear, his marriage. Isn't this awesome? This is a good reading. Final outcome for Jeff Bezos, strength. He's going to step up to the plate. And you know why? Because he lost his wife. You chose someone else. I understand our marriage is over. I understand you were bored. I understand you thought you had it all in a bag of chips. And so you took a lover. But unfortunately, you have now placed yourself into a situation you can't get out of. No, she's not coming back, Jeff. Your wife is just going to be her beautiful, powerful self, but I want my life back. Well, unfortunately, you can be strong as an environmentalist, aligning yourself with the values that your ex-wife holds dear, but you will never have her back. You blew it. She emerges as the Queen of Swords. Good, Jeff. I'm glad you woke up. Ouch. How's that for revenge? Can you believe those? Wasn't that freaking crazy? Can you believe? Wasn't that awesome? Oh, I love that. That was like one of the best readings I've done in a while. Jeff Bezos, man. Wants his wife back. Oh my God, this was fun today. Are we done? Well, you know what? When you get to be the age that Jeff Bezos is, and you remember that girl that believed in your dreams and was sleeping on a basement floor with you, surrounded by books, and saying, I'm not going to let this business go down. I believe that this can work. I remember when this got started in Seattle, and it was really them in a basement, and nobody thought it was going to work. Why would anybody order a book online? You have to look at the book. It was the silliest idea in the world. And they almost didn't make it. And then slowly they started. She was there from the very beginning. And boy, with those cards, I would say he definitely, she emerged as the Queen of Swords. She doesn't want him anymore. It's kind of sad. I don't know who this person is, Susan. I'd happily do it for you, Susan. I just don't know who they are. Oh, I hate crying in front of you guys. I'm trying to train people to be professional empaths so that they are in control, and even I use it sometimes. I did do Biden. Biden's fine. I know people are scared about assassination, but When I saw the energy around Trump and the fact that he's basically he's basically in the tower under arrest for all intents and purposes. He can't go do Trump can't do whatever he wants. He's got a freaking handmaiden following him and giving him a bottle every night with Lindsey Graham. I don't know what's going to happen with Trump. I know that because we did a lot of throws on it. I know that originally what they had wanted was I think what Mueller had wanted originally was a full signed sealed confession in exchange for immunity and to name co-conspirators. That was the goal. That was what Mueller wanted. Nope. So now we're right back there again. Thank you, Laura. So who is this person I'm supposed to be looking at? Hold on, let me just figure this out. Lauren Boebert is the new rep for Colorado who's a Q pistol packer. You know who she looks like to me? She looks like the woman from Alaska. I can see my house. I can see Putin's house from here. Yeah, I do too, Jeffrey. We can all cry together. Okay, we'll look at Lauren Boebert. What's the future of Lauren Boebert? Her support, she's losing support rapidly because of the information that's coming out about the president and her possible support of it. So what I'm feeling when I go into this energy is that her constituents, people that voted for her, are starting to regret having voted for her. That's my first thought. She's in the cold. Truth coming out. You can see this card, which is the High Priestess, which is a major arcana card, has to do with secret information being revealed about somebody. If she's under investigation, you don't want to see a card like that. That was the karma card. So she's under investigation. You know, because that's her karma card, because you pick two bases, right? The base of the matter of the summary, she's in the cold, she's in exile, 5 of Pentacles, right? She's trying to she's also possibly now trying to distance herself from the president. Look at that. But look at this, the light bulb, la luz, right? The lady of the light, la Madonna, right? The la luz, the light of the Madonna is what is it? The female mystical light, also in Hebrew, the Emunah. So something is coming out about her. She may not be able to stay in Congress. Look at that. This is her first house. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. She made a bad decision. Look what crosses her due to a poor decision. She's a thief attempting to flee. Look at her 4th house. Oh my God. This is so good. So good. What? She sits in Ace of Cups. She was assisting a thief. What she marinated in? Helping. Helping who? What's her 3rd and 4th house? A thief. Ooh, ooh, ooh. She's going to be implicated. Oh, her past placement. Lover. She took a lover. The Constitution was what she was supposed to be loyal to. She takes a lover, right? Oh my God, is this good? Who was the lover? Action, reaction. 4th house entering into the 6th. Thief. Unhealthy relationship, addiction, codependent. With who? The lover, the other. Was a decision that led to poor judgment and transformation or death. Ooh, she gave comfort and aid to a thief, a criminal. Oh, she's in trouble. Oh, she's in trouble. I think it may have been her. It may have been her department or her people that went and said to the protesters, oh, you want to take this building? Okay, so you're going to need to go this way and this way if you want to take the building. That may be associated with her, that person. She's got a raid coming. Look at that. This is where she's at, her 7th house. This is the energy of this is the energy around her immediate energy. Boy, there are feds everywhere. There are feds everywhere. The other, her opposite, her enemy, Ace of Swords. We're coming for you. This girl is in a lot of trouble. I believe that based, I haven't finished this reading yet. I believe this person was part of a plot to overthrow the government, that she was part of this sedition. Her hope and her fear, masters, experts, forensic people, she's in so much trouble. Her final outcome, the Queen of Swords, justice. The Queen of Swords, the law. It's not enough for her to separate herself from this, even if she tried to, because of her karma card. She's screwed. Her clarification, yeah, she was involved. She knew about it. Her involved, yeah. Hopes and fears. She feels that she was tricked. And see, what's happening is that a lot of people, even the people that were pushing the conspiracy theories, they themselves are now claiming they were tricked. Look at her hope and her fear and her issue. She was tricked, the trickster. The final outcome for her, she's going to leave Congress probably. The reason I say that is because 5 of Pentacles is exiled to be cast out, and her final outcome is the Page of Pentacles. She's probably going to pursue work somewhere else. Was she like a paralegal or something like that? What did she do for a living? I see her being an expert at like business, possibly legal briefs or something like this, just because of these 2 cards. Maybe money. It appears she had some professional business prior that she's going to go back to. She was a bartender? This doesn't look, she owns a bar. Oh, she owns a bar. That's more. Oh, restaurant owner. Yeah, this is more mastery, starting new businesses, new business adventures, buying a new business. I don't know how somebody like that could stay in Congress. I mean, look, she gave aid and comfort to a criminal. I don't see how she could stay. I honestly don't. Thank you, bad boy Rob. It's very sweet of you. Thank you, everybody who has donated today, hung out with me today. Everything's going to be okay. I think it's very sad that it ended like this. You know, I think that, you know, we can make this world a beautiful place for ourselves and others, or we can make this life brutal and cruel for others. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, mental health issues or whatever, the president and his henchmen chose the wrong path. I'm going to do one more throw before we close, actually. I want to go ahead and do Josh Hawley's future. Well, I have a GED. Nothing wrong with a GED. True, I also have a doctoral degree and a couple of degrees besides that, but I started off. Nothing wrong with a GED. Couldn't stand high school. Thought they were too immature. I was like, I'm out of here. I'll take my GED. Went to GED, community college, university. It's all good. All right. I just want to check on Josh Hawley. I used to think high school was so important. Dropped out of high school, got my GED, went to community college, transferred to a university, got on the dean's list, applied to medical school. They didn't even ask to see my high school transcripts. There was no reason for me to be in high school. You don't have to be in high school. I was very surprised when that happened. All right, Josh Hawley. Trouble, trouble, trouble. He's got a 3 of swords. This is base. And look at that. The 4 of pentacles, pinching his coin. Remember what I said about him? That he was going to lose his sponsors? Less than 24 hours later, bammo, lost his sponsors. So he's holding his coin. He's an interesting guy, Josh Hawley, because when you go into his energy, I swear, I feel his energy is aligned. Like when I go into Tony Robbins' energy, it's like this marketing guy who can rev up the crowds and hey, and he studied psychological manipulation. And I'm the young, new, sexy version of the fascist. This guy is rude, crude, but hey, I'm the polite fascist. Hey, I'm the future of the polite fascist party. So that's actually what makes Josh Hawley dangerous, because he has given legitimacy to this movement. But you can see here, 3 of swords and frugality. It's also an examination card. I call it the camera card because people are forced when they're frugal to really take a hard look at their situation. But boy, he lost a lot of money. Fool. Ace of Wands. He really thought that he was positioning himself for a very nice... Oh, is he getting married? Did he get married recently? Seeing a marriage or a relationship around him. Look at this. This is his 3rd house. This is a lunatic. He's going to try and work with Biden. Look at this. He's going to try and get over this and work with who? The new president. That's Biden's card. Where he's at right now. The Star. So there's a lot of attention on him. In relationship with him, his opposition, depression, or grief. So he's created a lot of unhappiness for his victims. The hope and the fear, money. He's been defunded. His final outcome, the Queen of Cups. She rubs her lamp. So there's an aspect to this guy. He's a little delusional. Ten of Cups coming in the 4th house with a Queen of Cups as the outcome. This guy's going to try and make nice because he has to, because he doesn't have any money coming in from sponsors. So that's going to be the first adjustment we're going to see from Josh Hawley is, no, we're all friends. I want to work with Biden. I'm the star. What have I done to the enemy? Depression, the hope and the fear, my job. The final outcome, the Queen of Cups. She rubs her lamp. The Queen of Hearts tries hanging it up. He exerted poor judgment. He's going to be asked to resign. Investigation, Ace of Swords. The final outcome for him, federal investigation. He has a federal investigation. He was not, I don't think he was directly involved. I don't think they brought him into the inner, but, and I think he might actually be able to get off on a lot of stuff. I don't know if he was directly involved in this plot. These cards don't suggest that. These cards suggest that this is a marketing guy. There's not much to him, and that he simply saw it as a way of marketing his career, and now he's going to have to readjust and remarket. And that's really, he doesn't come is much deeper than that. This is a guy with an education out of Stanford, knows precisely how people's brains work, and was just going to use this as a way of advancing his career. That doesn't market anymore? Okay, I'll make an adjustment. I'd love to work with Biden as long as he takes on conservative values. He will try and slip to a new gear. I don't think it's going to be successful, though, because a lot of people don't want to work with him. How much he can adjust will determine whether or not he continues to be funded by people. Because his main issue, if you go back to his cards, if you look at the base of the matter, It's frugality. He doesn't have any sponsors anymore. He can't continue on. He can't continue to market or promote his brand of conservatism. So he's forced into a position of being peacemaker. That's what it looked like. It's going to be hard to get him out, though, with those cards. I'll be honest with you. Those cards don't show him being expelled because he might get censored or something like that. I don't know if I'm seeing in those cards that he was heavily involved in the actual coup. We'll just see how it goes. All right, I'm going to call it a day. I think I've done enough. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with me, and especially thanks for donating to support of the channel, and also everybody who donated to feedamerica.org. We wanted to raise $5,000, and we're almost there. We did Biden first. Biden's fine. Biden's sad. Biden secretly is very, very sad because the people he worked with in Senate, these are friends of his. And, he's sad because he sees the state of the country. He's a really good person. It's like what he said to us when I started to cry. I had meditated on him. I had connected with his heart in the HCRV. I felt I was one with his heart. And, to have somebody that incredible say, between you and me, Whimsy, we're broke. I said, he gave the line from It's a Wonderful Life where the guy comes in to audit the savings and loan and says, how are you doing, George Bailey? And George Bailey says, well, between you and me, we're broke. So it was funny in the meditation that Biden had said, well, Whimsy, between you and me, we're broke. And then he had said, although we ain't got money, I'm still in love with you, honey. So it's going to be okay, everybody. These are hard times, but we have amazing people coming into office, and this too shall pass. All right. Love and light. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tonight at 5 o'clock live for the remote view with Celtic Tarot. All right, still trying to get in for a reading. You can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. Bye, everyone. Love you all. Thanks for the support.